Welcome to Peaceful Soul, the place where we explore the secrets of nurturing the mind, keeping the brain strong, and refreshing the spirit. Today, I want to start with a familiar question. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you were there? Or maybe you were talking to an old friend and, out of nowhere, their name slipped your mind, even though just a few years ago, the two of you were inseparable? For many people, these little moments seem harmless. But in reality, they can be the first signals that the brain is slowly losing its sharpness. Medical research has shown that if we continue to follow a poor diet, our brains can literally shrink over time. That sounds frightening, doesn't it? But here's the good news. You don't need to follow a complicated or expensive diet. By simply adding a few right foods to your daily meals, you can nourish your memory, improve focus, and even lift your mood. Before diving into the foods themselves, let me share a story. Michael, a retired mechanical engineer from Florida, once told me he didn't feel as sharp as he used to. He kept forgetting small tasks, lost focus when reading, and sometimes even drove without remembering where he was headed. Instead of relying on quick-fix memory supplements, I suggested he begin with small, simple changes in his diet. And the very first food I recommended was a tiny but powerful fruit I like to call the purple gift for memory. That fruit was the blueberry. Blueberries have long been celebrated as one of the top superfoods for the brain. And modern science fully supports this. They're loaded with anthocyanins, the compounds that give them their deep blue-purple color, which protect the brain from oxidative stress and inflammation. These two hidden enemies silently damage memory and increase the risk of Alzheimer's. Think of the brain like a complex electrical system. When you're stressed or eat unhealthy foods, those wires slowly wear down. Blueberries act like insulation, keeping the electrical signals in your brain running faster and more accurately. A large Harvard study that followed more than 16,000 women for nearly 20 years found that those who ate more berries like blueberries and strawberries experienced slower memory decline, by as much as 2.5 years, compared to those who didn't. In other words, just a handful of these little fruits can literally buy your brain more time, helping it stay sharp for longer. I also remember Sarah, an elementary school teacher in Ohio. She came to me worried, saying, "I can't remember my students' names. And sometimes I even forget parts of my lessons." I suggested she change her breakfast routine, instead of only drinking coffee. Try a blueberry smoothie mixed with Greek yogurt. 6 months later, she returned with a bright smile and said, "Doctor, I feel like I've got a brand new brain. I can teach all day and still remember every detail." That wasn't magic, it was the real effect of the right nutrition. And if fresh blueberries aren't your thing, don't worry, there are plenty of ways to enjoy them. Some of my patients sprinkle frozen blueberries over warm oatmeal in the morning. Others snack on them in the afternoon. And one patient, David, even got creative. He froze blueberries in ice cube trays, added water, and dropped them into his drinks. Every sip was refreshing and good for his brain. If blueberries aren't available, there are still excellent alternatives. Blackberries, raspberries, and mulberries can deliver similar benefits. The most important thing is to make them a daily habit. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't see an immediate difference, but over the years, the benefits are undeniable. And here's one more important point. You don't have to wait until your memory starts declining to enjoy these benefits. The earlier you start, the more flexible and resilient your brain becomes. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and recover from damage. And blueberries are one of the best fuels to power this incredible process. After talking about juicy blueberries, let's move on to another food that almost everyone loves, avocados. You may have heard people call them green gold in the world of nutrition. And for the brain, that description couldn't be more accurate. Avocados are one of the richest natural sources of healthy fats your brain truly craves. Our brains are made up mostly of fat and water. This means that for the brain to function at its best, it needs the right kinds of fats as fuel. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, the type that improves blood circulation, allowing oxygen and vital nutrients to reach the brain more effectively. When this flow is enhanced, you'll find yourself focusing longer, processing information faster, and maintaining steady mental energy throughout the day. A study from the University of Illinois showed that middle-aged adults who ate avocados regularly had significantly better attention and concentration compared to those who rarely ate them. They performed faster and more accurately on cognitive tests, and MRI scans even revealed healthier brain structures in the avocado group. This proves that small dietary changes can leave a lasting mark on brain health. I remember Emily, an office worker in New York, who once complained that her mind felt sluggish, especially in the afternoons. When I asked about her eating habits, I found her lunches usually consisted of sandwiches and soda. I suggested she try something simple. Add half an avocado to her salad or mash it on whole grain toast with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of sea salt. A few weeks later, Emily returned smiling. I don't feel that afternoon fog anymore. My brain is sharper, I work faster, and I don't need an extra cup of coffee. But what if avocados aren't your favorite? Or maybe they're not always available where you live. There's another fantastic option: extra virgin olive oil. This nutrient-rich source of monounsaturated fats is considered the soul of the Mediterranean diet, which has been widely proven to benefit the heart, and especially the brain. A 4-year study in Spain found that people who consumed olive oil regularly had better cognitive function and were at lower risk of developing Alzheimer's compared to those who ate diets high in saturated fats. The best part is that olive oil is incredibly easy to add to your meals. Use it as a salad dressing, drizzle it over roasted vegetables, or keep it simple with toasted bread, olive oil, and a few slices of tomato. Not only is it delicious, but it's also a brain-boosting choice. The key isn't to overload yourself with avocados or olive oil all at once, but to make them a consistent part of your lifestyle. Just like exercise, one workout won't transform your body. It's the daily commitment that builds strength. With avocados and olive oil, a little bit each day creates the foundation for long-lasting memory and mental clarity. If avocados and olive oil provide healthy fats that improve blood flow, wild-caught salmon offers another type of fat that the brain can hardly live without: omega-3s. Think of omega-3s as the insulation around electrical wires. Inside the brain, neurons are constantly firing signals. And for those signals to travel quickly, clearly, and accurately, they need this protective coating. Without enough omega-3s, communication slows down, and the brain can slip into a state of mental fog. Large studies have consistently shown a strong link between omega-3 intake and cognitive function. Research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease revealed that people who ate omega-3-rich fish at least twice a week had a significantly lower risk of memory decline. In fact, for some older adults, increasing omega-3 intake even improved their scores on memory tests. I recall meeting Michael, a high school teacher in California. He often complained about being forgetful, misplacing his keys, forgetting which students had turned in assignments, and struggling with details. Even though he was only in his early 40s, he felt his memory was slipping fast. When I asked about his diet, it turned out he ate a lot of fast food but very little fish. I suggested he start small. Try adding grilled salmon to dinner at least twice a week. About 3 months later, he returned with amazement. I remember my students' names faster. I don't lose track of small things anymore. And I even feel more fluent when teaching. The interesting part is that wild-caught salmon contains far more omega-3s than farmed salmon. It also has fewer harmful substances and heavy metals because of its natural diet. Besides salmon, you can also get omega-3s from sardines, herring, mackerel, or from chia seeds and flax seeds if you're vegetarian. Here's something not many people know. Omega-3s don't just boost memory. They also have a powerful effect on mood. Researchers at Harvard found that people with low omega-3 levels were more prone to anxiety and depression. When consumed regularly, omega-3s act almost like a natural antidepressant, helping balance serotonin and dopamine, the neurotransmitters that keep your mind stable and resilient. If you're not used to eating fish, start with simple meals: a dinner of grilled salmon with vegetables, or a tuna sandwich with leafy greens, can already deliver meaningful benefits. Sometimes, it's as simple as making small choices at the grocery store, picking fish instead of red meat, that can become a turning point for your brain health. After talking about wild-caught salmon with its rich source of omega-3s, you might be wondering, What if I don't eat fish very often? Are there other options to nourish the brain? The answer is yes, and it comes in the form of nuts and seeds like walnuts, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds. These little powerhouses are packed with brain-friendly nutrients, from healthy fats and plant-based protein to vitamin E and key minerals like magnesium and zinc. Vitamin E in particular is famous for its powerful antioxidant properties. Over time, brain cells are constantly attacked by free radicals, the biological equivalent of rust, that slowly wears down memory. Vitamin E acts like a shield, protecting your neurons from that damage. A study from Rush University in Chicago found that people who consumed vitamin E-rich foods, including nuts, had a significantly lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. I remember Sarah, a freelance photographer in Texas. Her job often kept her up late at night, and the stress pushed her toward fast food for convenience. Over time, she began complaining about poor memory and declining focus. I suggested a simple change: keep a small container of mixed nuts in her bag. Just a few weeks later, Sarah noticed she no longer hit that midday slump and felt sharper while editing photos. She told me, "I used to think nuts were just a snack, but now they're my secret weapon for creativity." Beyond vitamin E, many nuts and seeds, like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, provide plant-based omega-3s, which are especially valuable for those following a vegetarian diet. Pumpkin seeds also deliver magnesium, often called the anti-stress mineral, which helps the body relax and improves sleep quality. And as you know, deep, restorative sleep is the foundation of a sharp memory. The best part? Nuts and seeds are incredibly easy to add into your daily routine. You can sprinkle chia seeds into your morning smoothie, toss roasted almonds into a salad, or simply grab a handful of pumpkin seeds instead of reaching for a sugary snack. Just a few small habits like this keep your brain fueled all day, without the crash that comes with energy drinks. Another fascinating study from Loma Linda University in California found that people who ate nuts at least 5 times a week performed better on memory and focus tasks compared to those who rarely ate them. In other words, enjoying nuts isn't just a healthy snack, it's a long-term investment in your mental performance. So next time you feel like snacking or want something to munch on during a movie, try swapping out the potato chips for a handful of mixed nuts. Your brain will thank you for it, and so will your body. Leafy greens have long been considered superfoods in nutrition research, not just for heart health and digestion, but also for their profound impact on memory and mental clarity. Vegetables like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, Brussels sprouts, and arugula are packed with folate, vitamin K, lutein, and beta-carotene. These nutrients have been scientifically proven to slow down age-related cognitive decline. One landmark study from Rush University in Chicago followed more than 900 people for nearly a decade. The results were striking. Those who ate at least one serving of leafy greens each day had a significantly slower rate of memory loss and cognitive decline, equivalent to being about 11 years younger in terms of brain function. In other words, just one salad a day could help your brain stay sharp for an entire decade. I remember Michael, a high school teacher in Florida. He often complained that after teaching classes, he felt drained and struggled to focus when preparing lessons at night. When we talked, I realized his diet was almost completely lacking in vegetables. He mainly ate sandwiches, pizza, and fast food. I suggested he start simple, add spinach to his morning eggs or make a kale salad with a drizzle of olive oil. Within a month, Michael noticed a big difference. His mind felt clearer, and he even had enough energy to play basketball with his students after school. The beauty of leafy greens is that they don't need to be complicated. If you're not a fan of salads, try blending spinach into a smoothie, you won't even taste it. Or roast Brussels sprouts with olive oil and garlic for a crispy, irresistible side dish. Even small steps, like tossing kale into soup or giving Swiss chard a quick sauté with lemon, can provide your brain with a steady boost of nutrients. And we can't forget lutein, a carotenoid found in leafy greens. While it's best known for protecting vision, lutein also plays a critical role in maintaining processing speed in the brain. Research from the University of Illinois found that people with higher levels of lutein performed better in tasks requiring focus and short-term memory. The most important thing about leafy greens is sustainability. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start by adding one portion of greens to lunch or dinner. Over time, your body will adapt, and your brain will actually begin to crave this fresh, energizing fuel. I often hear older patients ask me, "I'm already in my 70s, will eating more greens still make a difference?" My answer is always yes. The brain has an incredible capacity to recover and respond, and it's never too late to nourish it with the right foods. You might be surprised to hear that chocolate actually makes the list of brain-friendly foods. But let me be clear, not all chocolate is created equal. What we're talking about here is dark chocolate, with at least 70% cacao or higher. This type of chocolate is packed with flavonoids, plant-based compounds that improve blood flow to the brain, enhance focus, speed up reaction time, and even strengthen memory. A study published in Nature Neuroscience found that people who consumed cacao flavonoids for 3 months showed significant improvements in the function of the hippocampus, the part of the brain critical for memory storage. In other words, eating just 1 square of dark chocolate each day can work like a little memory workout for your brain. I think back to a patient named Linda, a writer from California. She often complained about mental fatigue in the afternoons, feeling like her creativity had hit a wall. After making a few dietary adjustments, she swapped her afternoon coffee for a cup of matcha tea and a small piece of dark chocolate. The result amazed her. She felt refreshed, focused, and energized without the jittery crash of coffee. Her creativity returned, and she used to joke, "My ideas are flowing like melted chocolate again." Beyond dark chocolate, green tea, and especially matcha, offers incredible benefits for brain health. Green tea is loaded with powerful antioxidants called catechins, as well as L-theanine, an amino acid that relaxes the mind while keeping it alert. That's why so many people describe the feeling of drinking green tea as calm focus, rather than the wired, anxious buzz that often comes with coffee. Research from Switzerland showed that the combination of L-theanine and caffeine in green tea boosts attention and working memory while also reducing anxiety. In other words, a cup of matcha in the morning can keep you calm and focused throughout the day. One important note, though, many coffee shop matcha lattes are overloaded with sugar and additives that cancel out the health benefits. If you really want the brain-boosting effects, go for pure, unsweetened matcha powder and make it at home. Just whisk a small spoonful into hot water, and you've got yourself a vibrant green drink that's both delicious and healthy. The easiest way to bring these foods into your routine is simple. Enjoy a few pieces of dark chocolate as a snack, or sip a cup of matcha before a big project that requires deep focus. Timing matters too. If you're sensitive to caffeine, it's best to avoid these later in the evening so your sleep isn't disrupted. What I love about this duo isn't just the science-backed benefits, but also the ritual. Eating a piece of dark chocolate or sipping green tea isn't only about fueling your brain. It's about giving yourself a small moment of peace. A pause in your day to enjoy calmness while caring for your body and mind. As we wrap up today's journey together, I want you to take a moment to reflect. Your brain is the control center of your life. It holds your memories, your emotions, your creativity, and even your dreams. Every choice you make at the dinner table doesn't just fuel your body. It shapes your future. A handful of blueberries, a slice of avocado, a piece of grilled salmon, a few walnuts, or a plate of leafy greens, they may seem small, but over the years, they become the key to staying sharp, focused, and truly happy. You don't have to change everything overnight. The secret lies in consistency. In starting with small steps. Pick just one of the foods from today's list and make it a part of your daily routine. From there, you'll begin to notice how your brain and your body slowly transform in the most amazing ways. The best part is, you have the power to make this difference. Picture yourself at 60 or 70, still full of clarity, sharp memory, and a peaceful mind. That future is within your reach, and it starts with the choices you make today. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and loved ones, so more people can learn how to nourish their brains. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to Peaceful Soul, because here, every week, we'll uncover more science-based secrets to help you live healthier, calmer, and happier. I'd also love to hear from you. among all the brain-boosting foods we talked about today? Which one are you most excited to try first? Leave your answer in the comments below. I can't wait to read your stories. Thank you so much for being here with Peaceful Soul. Remember, every small meal you choose today is truly a gift for your future self. I'll see you in the next video, where together, we'll continue this journey of nourishing both body and soul in the most fulfilling way.